Houston Texans fans, we got some good news, some bad news, and some ugly news. Starters played, not too much, but it was some good stuff. Of course, good. Stingley,
They played enough for me to see.
Jalen, Petrie, and Derek Stingley. Hell yeah.
Jimmy Ward looked nice out there. Um, Metchie, Metchie, we were
I like he got a
so
little
happy to
dance.
see you get the touchdown, man.
I almost wanted to cry. Like I was like, about time, bro. Like
Yeah.
about fucking time he showed up.
You
All
could,
he did, like all what he did today, is he made that conversation for who gets kept and who gets traded even more difficult. I think.
yeah.
That's what I was saying today. I was watching the game and I was like, this fool trying to stay on the team. And he definitely showed up.
His teammates were so happy for him. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was one of those things where they talked about it after the touchdown. How many wide receivers do the Texans keep? And they were arguing six, seven, 6, 7. It's like,
See, I think the conversation the other day I had to have the conversation: do you trade Noah Brown or do you trade Robert Woods or cut either one of them? And I think it's like, do you cut both? Because those are the two that I would get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm keeping Skoranek and I'm keeping Sims for special teams purposes, I think. And then you
Yeah.
got the five, in my opinion. Diggs, Collins, Tank, Hutchins, and Metchie are my five. Then the other two is seven.
Yeah.
yeah. Because you
And I
keep
ain't seen
saying,
Noah Brown do shit yet.
no,
Not at all.
no, nothing. And if you keep seven, it hurts your fullback position. And then also, I mean, it's a position from somebody else that you're taking. But Noah Brown, Robert Woods, I feel you could trade them. I feel somebody would want something for them. Now, of course, if you were trying to get something in return, Metchie or Xavier Hutchinson would be the pieces that you would trade away to get
I just
something.
think that a reasonable asking price for either one of those, especially Michi, you couldn't get it. Like I think the Texans would be more lenient on Hutchins because I think he was a fourth round pick or something like that. But he's so good. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you expect to get for him? Like, I want a player who can probably play for me right now. To be honest, ain't nobody giving you that shit.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Philly's been linked to Metchie. Now they tried to go after him. Who knows if they send more offers? We won't hear about that. But it's one of those things where it's like there's gonna be cuts for sure. Now is the two vets over getting cut since two youngsters are finally starting able to help out, or
This is gonna sound messed up, but I feel like getting rid of those two have the least amount of ripple effect on the team.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if you trade one of the young boys, you know the big three aren't getting traded, and then
Yeah.
you have these other two, the two young boys, Hutchins and Metchie. Like you'll always wonder like what could have been if you trade them and they end up being good somewhere else because that's probably what's going to happen because they're really good. But I don't see too much of a ripple effect in us being mad about the other two. It's like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take a fifth round pick for Robert Woods. Come on, sixth round
Yeah. I
pick.
wouldn't. I wouldn't be mad about Robert Woods or Noah Brown leaving at all.
it's like you brought him in for veteran leadership kind of thing. But the way that they talked about how Stefan Diggs has been stepping in as that leader, it's like, yeah, I don't need y'all anymore for any purpose. Like,
Yeah.
barring injuries, which I hope doesn't happen, that would be the only reason why I need you here.
He did a jet
It,
sweep today too.
I was seeing that play and I was like, don't ever run that play with him again. Don't do that. He's so fucking slow. Like, don't do
I
that.
know
Use
it
Hutchins.
happened.
Use
It
Sims.
happened. It happened, and I told Nick, I was like, I'm gonna say something to Zach about it later, just to do it.
Oh, well, I forgot about it because it only happened one time. When you said it,
I
all I
know.
could think about is like he couldn't turn the corner. And it
I
was kind
know.
of set. And I was like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Dude, it
Now, the
was bad.
slant route he caught from CJ, when CJ threw that bitch between two defenders, I was like, if you could make a habit of that, yeah, ain't nobody beating us. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
fucking with us.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I mean, Nick, you're gonna figure out all that mess. You got the last game of preseason, I'm sure we'll figure out. There'll be some people getting cut for sure. There'll be some trades, teams that are needing a receiver. Because you look at it, some of these guys that we have, they're 6'7", like they said on TV. They'll be a 3-4 in some teams and all that stuff. So it's a nice asset, nice problem to have. Um, going
That,
into
y'all know who looked really fucking good in the game today? He only fucking had, you know, a little bit of anything, but he had 2 fucking touchdowns. Was British Brooks?
A little bit of anything. The dude averaged damn near 5 yards a carry. He balled. Like,
I know.
he might have took the third spot in the running back room to me today.
I'm saying a little bit of anything because he only had a few carries. But yeah,
what he did.
I'm
good with
just
what-
saying, bro. Like, it was hard for me to think about the running backs today because if you talk to somebody who really knows football, they'll plead the case for Dameon Pierce against the defense he played today, which I get
Mhm.
that. Like, that D line kind of won against our O line, so Pierce didn't get a fair shake. But it's just like you still didn't do anything to help yourself. And I say that because Cam Akers busted one open today. Like he
Yeah.
literally made a move in a hole, stretched that bitch, got on the outside, and he picked up 20 something. Like that's effort. And Pierce didn't do that. And you see Pierce do that 1, 2, 3, 4 plays in a row, and it's like, all right, I see what's happening here. It's like when you watch a kid learn how to ride a bike, and you're like, yeah, he's gonna get about 5 or 6 pedals in it, and then he's gonna go down. Same thing with Pierce. It's like, oh, hole's closed. Just go down, bro. Just go
Yep.
down.
He had one where he tried to go and didn't even get a yard. He almost got a safety because he was in the end zone.
Like looking at the O line, there was a lot of like, big pieces missing. Of course, they had some players trying. It's preseason. They're trying to figure out who's staying and all that. You went up against a top defense in the five, like those five up front. But it's like y'all said, Pierce from last year. There's nothing that's showing me anything different than what I got this year. It looks the exact same. It's like I've seen this already, bro. I've seen this story.
Mhm.
Bad. You can't do nothing, and it's like I wouldn't be surprised if Cam Akers took his spot. Like honestly, like
I think in the running back room, they're kind of lucky because what they'll probably do is they'll probably send Jawar Jordan and British Brooks to the practice squad and to open up spots and still keep them, and then you still have Pierce on the team. So it's just a matter of like, do you let Dari try to play fullback or cut him?
Yeah.
So I think that played itself out on that side. Yeah, but Pierce is going to piss somebody off. Even when he ran a kickback earlier, I was like, bro, what the fuck are you? You turned your back to the defense. Like, what are you doing? You took a pop in the back. I don't know, bro. I'm cool with him going.
Yeah, I don't have any reason to want that fool to stay around.
trade
So.
him, trade him.
Ain't nobody want that fool. Like, you literally are going to get like a 6th-round pick for him, bro.
Look, if I give them him and Robert Woods, I mean, I'm sure I get a nice.
I'm not comfortable with the depth that we have on defense.
Yeah.
So if I could get another player on standby, like early in the game, Jake Henson pissed me the fuck off. And then like Jerome Ford pissed me off. They kept letting him go ones on the outside at corner, and then he kept getting beat. Like I was like, come on, Slayton's not a terrible player, but he fucking you up out there, dog. Like, what's going on? And Delshon Phillips, he's just too small to do what we ask. So I'll take any fucking thing. Anybody who's big. Just somebody big, just come over here in case we need you.
I need depth.
Yeah. I don't know. Overall, it was solid, but there was a lot of like mistakes that could be fixed, I think.
I don't know. CJ and Dalton look like they had their shit together.
And so, yeah.
I mean, they went for the touchdown on the 4th down. Didn't get it, but that's a perfect.
They
time
got the
to-
pick six right after.
Yeah. Thing was
Yeah, but like when Houston was playing off the one, bro, and CJ was in the end zone shuffling his feet, Dalton knew he's like, hey, Travis Kelce makes millions of dollars just stopping right here. And that's what he did.
very true.
Travis Kelce gets called the best tight end ever by people all the time for this.
All he does is run to this spot and turn around. Let me see if it works with this quarterback. Sure as shit it did.
Yeah.
Nico Collins had that good ass catch where he made them two people miss. That's all he did today. But I was like, all right, I see how this is gonna happen. I see what's going on here.
Stephon Diggs
Defensive
had that
line was a
catch.
monster today.
Stephon Diggs had that catch, and I texted Nick, and I was like, "Oh shit, Diggs is doing something." And then Nico Collins made that catch right after. I was like, "Never mind, Nico Collins is back."
I don't know. I I like Nico Collins, but there's just something about Diggs and CJ. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think they're both going to get theirs, but I don't know what it is with Diggs and CJ. It's like, oh, you got himself a star. Okay.
I need to see it. Like, I need to see it more.
Yeah. I I just like practice is one thing, but like a lot of the people I follow that were like the way Stingley's been in practice, the way that you know Stephon Diggs been in practice, the way that Lazarus been in practice, like they all praise like those three especially are like
Hey, people, fuck Sauce Gardner. By the way, like we got the better player in that deal. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
he is playing if he plays like that the whole year, he's easily in the top 5 quarterbacks. Like
Forge. I mean, if you go based off of numbers last year, I think he slept on, bro. To be honest with you, he just don't have the highlight reels to do it. But I think he's already up there. To be honest with you, I'm put to you like this. This is the first time since like 2012 to 16 that we've had a corner that I'm like, I don't care who you put out there. Like, we got a chance. When Jonathan Joseph was in his prime, like I didn't give a fuck. Like he wasn't gonna pick balls, but he wasn't gonna give nothing up. I feel that way with Stingley. He knows what the play is like. Do I attack the ball? Do I just prevent the catch? Do I play dirty? Whatever that he needs us to do, he does it. That's why I'm not worried about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see what happens in the actual season. I'm ready for it.
I know Nick's not gonna like this, but earlier I kept watching Jerome Ford get fucked up, right, and then Chris Boyd was getting fucked up a little bit, and I was like, I don't like the depth at corner because I don't trust an Okuda earlier either. So then I was thinking, I was like, I wonder what Stevie Nelson is doing. Like, you think Casario is too proud to make that call?
I mean, I don't think he is. I mean,
I wouldn't hate it. You can come back and be like, look, it was all a big misunderstanding. You know I didn't mean it.
I mean, he said a lot before he left.
And watching the safeties play today, I was mad we didn't get Justin Simmons, but watching our safeties play today, I'm okay with it. I was very pleased with what we did today in the secondary.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. I watched literally the entire thing because I had nothing to do today. Finally, so I was stoked.
I could tell you the position I was most confused about. Third string quarterback. Because I watched Case Keenum make every play, every read correct. He couldn't throw the ball though, in my opinion. Like I didn't like what I seen. His ball, he just doesn't have nothing behind it. It tapers off at the end. I wasn't a fan of that, but he did everything right, so I'm not hating on that. Tim Boyle could throw. That motherfucker can throw. He's a dumbass. I guarantee you he couldn't read 2 pages off the playbook for you. So it's like, do you want the guy who's going to not cost you the game or the guy that's going to cost you the game, but you're probably going to score some points? I think I'm keeping Case Keenum one more year, bro.
Yeah. I was going to say, if any one of those is my starting quarterback at some point, we had major injuries.
Davis Mills didn't even play.
Yeah, you got
no, because D'Amico already said that's your number 2. Yeah. Davis Mills is a good backup quarterback for quarterback for us. I don't know why people want to trade him. I just don't
man, you never know. Some team could want him as like a starter if they absolutely need it.
Like I said,
Look, I gave up on that. I'm pretty sure he gave up on that.
if those two guys are one of our starters, it was a bad year, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of injuries.
I mean, but we played Tennessee last year. They started Keenum over Mills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And I mean, it's a long season. You never know what happens. I mean, but I would rather keep Case also just because the way that he can mentor CJ a little more. Even though CJ is looking like he that when you look at superstar, yeah, he's legit everything you want in a superstar. And I always go back to he reminds me of like Steph Curry type of shit. Like very
Mm-hmm.
humble, but when he needs to turn that switch on for go mode, it's just straight just and it's like people want to play for him. And it's fun because you heard the players talking, and it was like Stephon Diggs, and then they're like, "Oh, I want to play with CJ. I want to play with CJ." And then like when they talked to Jimmy Ward, they were like, "Was it easy to come here?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "I wanted to play for D'Amico." Like, what are you talking about? Like that's why I wanted to be here. Like because I love Houston. And it was just like, oh. And then they were talking about the game, how Hunter was there. They're watching the game, and I was like, yeah, okay. I got the peanut butter and jelly on this shit. Like offensive players want to play with CJ, defensive players want to play for D'Amico.
I'm telling you, bro. I think we're only going to get better because if that logic is true, imagine the players we could bring in because our defense is sick as fuck. Like, we picked them in the first quarter, then we made them fumble a bunch of times in the second half. Our defense is a great. Like, Lonnie Johnson literally just, like, kind of took that ball from that guy.
That was hilarious.
Max Tooley hit it, and
He
then
punched
Lonnie
that bitch
Johnson
out
was
that
there.
fool.
Mine.
People, I guarantee you, Giants fans are gonna say it was because of the sun being in that one spot, but I don't fucking care.
No, he never seen Tooley coming, and Tooley punched it. He peanut punched the shit out of that ball. He didn't even punch the ball. He punched him in the tricep. But either way, that shit hurts. And Lonnie Johnson was like, "Ooh, here I go." By the way, Max Tooley, I like that motherfucker. Y'all want a white boy on defense? There he goes. I don't know if he's a starter, but if somebody on our team gets popped for some PEDs, it might be him. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do.
We already got one of those. We're fine.
Allegedly, Autry was on it, and plus Max Tooley, we can do that cashing out song, grabbing on my Tooley. Tell me smack on the booty.
Uh, any last minute ones? I mean, I don't expect starters to start in the last game. It's going to probably be more of depth and position players.
Nah, bro. I'm glad I don't have to decide who stays and goes. I'll tell you that. Because there's some dudes on the defensive line that people can't even name and like, hey, that motherfucker ball. Ali Gay's going to make this team. That guy, he just makes plays, bro. Khalil Davis was a beast today. Derek Barnett, like, I ain't trying to hate on Petrie. Petrie took a lot of credit for some shit today that he didn't actually earn. Like, Derek Barnett did a lot of that. Derek Barnett had the sack, got the pick six. Derek Barnett fucking uh, blew up a fucking hole in the first quarter, and then Petrie made the tackle. And I was like, I mean, you did your job, Petrie, but Barnett was the reason it happened.
Yeah, a good yin and yang though. So it's like,
Well, also, like, both of you motherfuckers might be second string, so you could yin and yang until we tell you to come back in.
it's like rock paper scissors shoot. All right, I'll go out. I mean, this is gonna be fun because you got a lot of players resting. You still haven't seen the offense with Joe Mixon. You still haven't seen the defense at an all full of Will Anderson and Hunter and Stingley, Petrie, Ward, like all those guys out there. Like, I mean, Frank Ross, you got all the endless toys you got.
Thank God our defense is fucking balling because you're about to bring in Tunsil, Titus Howard, and Joe Mixon week one to play, and they ain't got no snaps together.
Mm-hmm.
What could go wrong? False starts.
I was watching the game with my dad, and that fool was like, "Why do they keep showing the trainer girls trying to hit on all the players?" And every single time they did that, it was just this one chick trying to talk to Joe Mixon the entire time.
I seen that.
She like, hey, I'm gonna get mine now. All right, Texans fans, one more week, and then it's game time. Make sure you drop a comment down below, like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. It is go time for the Texans. It's gonna be a good one. So be ready. We are out of here.